A tropical cyclone is now forecast to hit Far North Queensland as a Category 5 system on Friday, and right now it is strengthening fast in the Coral Sea. At the same time, Sydney was hammered by one of its most intense overnight downpours in years, with 93 millimetres falling at Mosman in a single hour. And across inland Queensland, major flood warnings are in force right now for the Thomson River, Cooper Creek and the Barcoo River. 3 serious weather stories, one country, one day, Wednesday, the 18th of March, 2026. So let's get right into it. We start in the west. The Bureau of Meteorology's forecast for Perth, issued at 6:55 this morning, reads simply sunny. Winds are north to northeasterly at 20 to 30 kilometres per hour this morning, shifting south to southwesterly this afternoon. That is the classic Fremantle Doctor pattern. Perth's UV index today is forecast to reach 9, that is very high, with sun protection recommended from 8:50 a.m. through to 3:50 p.m. Temperatures are tracking close to the mid to late March average for Perth, around 29 degrees for the day. A genuinely pleasant late summer Wednesday. Now, the Bureau of Meteorology is also maintaining a flood watch today for rivers along the Gascoyne coast, the southern Pilbara coast and the lower West District. A minor flood warning is also current for the Fitzroy River in the Kimberley. If you are near those river systems today, monitor the bomb warnings page closely. The Bureau's WA forecast for today also calls for showers and thunderstorms across the Kimberley and northeastern parts of the interior, with possible heavy falls in places. If you are travelling the North-West Coastal Highway or roads through the Gascoyne or Kimberley today, check Main Roads WA before you depart and do not drive on any flooded road. Moving east to the Northern Territory, Darwin and the top end are in typical late wet season conditions today. Hot and humid, around 32 degrees, afternoon storms expected. There are no new severe weather warnings issued by the Bureau of Meteorology for the NT today. However, flood recovery operations are continuing across the region. As of this morning, SBS News is reporting that 578 people from Daly River and Palumpa communities remain in evacuation centres in Darwin. NT Police Commissioner Martin Dole also advised this morning that parts of the top end may remain above major flood levels through the remainder of this week. If you are in or around the Big Rivers region of the NT, keep monitoring SecureNT at securent.nt.gov.au for the latest recovery and road access information. South Australia is enjoying settled conditions today. No active severe weather warnings from the Bureau of Meteorology for South Australia on this Wednesday. Adelaide is forecast to reach around 25 to 27 degrees, a very pleasant late summer day. Light winds, plenty of sunshine through the afternoon. Now let us head to Queensland, and we have 2 separate serious situations to work through, so we will take them one at a time. First, inland Queensland. Kibikon, the Bureau of Meteorology's Queensland Warnings Summary, current as of this morning, lists a major flood warning for the Thomson River and Cooper Creek. A moderate flood warning is also current for the Barcoo River. And a severe weather warning covers parts of the Channel Country forecast district today. Cooper Creek at Windora is sitting around the major flood level of 5 metres. That is significant flooding for this remote Channel Country system. Road access across the Channel Country is severely disrupted. If you have any travel planned through outback southwest Queensland, check the Queensland Government's disaster dashboard at disaster.qld.gov.au. Do not attempt to cross flooded roads anywhere in this region. If it's flooded, forget it. That applies whether you are in a car, a ute or a 4-wheel drive. Now, Tropical Cyclone Narelle. And I want to take some time on this one because what is happening in the Coral Sea right now is a rapidly developing and genuinely dangerous situation. According to the Bureau of Meteorology's official track advisory for Queensland, issued this morning, Narelle is currently a Category 2 tropical cyclone. The Bureau places the system approximately 970 kilometres east-northeast of Cooktown, moving steadily west at 17 kilometres per hour. Sustained winds near the centre are confirmed at 110 kilometres per hour, with wind gusts reaching 155 kilometres per hour. Since that early morning advisory, the situation has escalated. Queensland Police issued a public statement at 12:51 p.m. today with updated information. According to Queensland Police, Narelle is now forecast to reach Category 5 intensity before making landfall. That is the highest category on the Australian scale. Queensland Police also confirmed today that landfall is now expected between Lockhart River and Lizard Island, updated from the earlier forecast zone, with crossing expected during Friday the 20th of March. The Bureau of Meteorology's own advisory states very destructive wind gusts in excess of 250 kilometres per hour are possible near the centre as it crosses the coast. Separately, a Bureau forecast of peak intensity at 165 kilometres per hour sustained has been noted, with higher end scenarios if the system slows before landfall. The Bureau of Meteorology has a tropical cyclone watch currently in force. That is a yellow level alert for coastal and inland areas between Lockhart River and Port Douglas. A watch means tropical cyclone conditions are possible within the next 48 hours. Given today's forecast upgrade, a warning is expected to be issued before this day is out. Lockhart River has already received an emergency alert issued by the local disaster management group at 11:31 this morning. Residents there are being told to prepare now. According to the Bureau's advisory, destructive wind gusts to 155 kilometres per hour are possible from south of Lockhart River to Cooktown from Thursday night. Damaging wind gusts to 120 kilometres per hour are possible between Lockhart River and Port Douglas from Thursday, that is before the core of the storm arrives. Heavy rainfall, which may lead to flash flooding, is forecast between Cape Melville and Port Douglas from Thursday evening, extending inland during Friday, according to BOM. Locally intense rainfall is also possible between Lockhart River and Cape Melville and in inland areas west of Coen from Friday, the Bureau's words, not mine. Tides will be abnormally high between Coen and Port Douglas. Storm surge on top of high tides means coastal flooding is likely, even in areas that appear to be away from the cyclone track. If you are in Cooktown, Mosman, Port Douglas, Cape Tribulation, or anywhere between Lockhart River and Lizard Island, your preparation window is right now. Secure your property, prepare your emergency kit, water, food, medications, battery, radio, torch, documents. Know where your nearest evacuation centre is. Queensland Police are conducting welfare checks in remote communities today. Visit getready.qld.gov.au and follow all directions from your local disaster management group. There remains some uncertainty in the exact track and intensity at landfall. Faster forecast models show slightly different outcomes to slower ones, but the range of scenarios here is serious at the low end. Monitor BOM's official warnings page at bom.gov.au. Continuously, the advisory for Narelle is being updated multiple times per day as the system approaches the coast. We will have a dedicated Narelle update tomorrow as the system enters its final approach. Turn your notifications on so you get that the moment it is published. Now let us head south to New South Wales and specifically to Sydney, which has had a very rough start to this Wednesday. The Bureau of Meteorology issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Sydney and the Central Coast overnight. That warning was cancelled at 8:22 this morning. The official BOM cancellation statement, issued at 8:22 AM Wednesday the 18th of March, confirmed the following observed rainfall totals. 93 millimetres was recorded at Mosman in the 60 minutes ending at 3:03 AM. 51 millimetres fell at Rose Bay in 30 minutes ending at 5:31 AM. 44 millimetres was recorded at Nora Head in 30 minutes to 7:02 AM, 36 millimetres at Shanes Park in 30 minutes to 6:32 AM. According to Weather Zone's report published this morning, Mosman received 130 millimetres in total between midnight and 9 AM, an extraordinary total. Weather Zone notes that rainfall rates above 10 millimetres in 10 minutes are typically enough to trigger flash flooding in Sydney. These rates far exceeded that threshold overnight. Flash flooding was confirmed in Bondi and Rose Bay in response to the overnight event, according to Weather Zone's coverage published today. The cause, as stated in the BOM warning, was a weak southerly change moving north along the coast, combining with a mid-level trough, triggering persistent showers and thunderstorms. That immediate threat has eased. But Sydney is not finished with wet weather this week. Onshore winds will continue to drive showers and storm potential each day through to Friday. According to Weather Zone's forecast published today, severe thunderstorm activity remains possible over Sydney and surrounding areas over the coming days as the inland trough persists. If you are driving in Sydney's eastern suburbs or lower North Shore today, be alert for debris and standing water on roads, particularly around Mosman, Rose Bay, Bondi and Nora Head areas. Further west in New South Wales, the Bureau of Meteorology has a severe weather warning in force for parts of the upper Western Forecast District as of this morning. According to BOM's warning, 6 hourly rainfall totals of 50 to 80 millimetres are likely across the far northwest of the state, driven by a combination of a surface trough and ample tropical moisture from the centre of the continent. Flash flooding is a real risk in the Upper Western District today. BOM advises that conditions are expected to ease below warning thresholds by late Wednesday. A minor flood warning is also in force for the Peru River in far western New South Wales today. If you are near the Peru, monitor BOM's river height updates and avoid flooded roads entirely. The Australian Capital Territory Canberra is forecast for around 26 degrees today, mostly sunny, light winds. No severe weather warnings in place for the ACT. Victoria, Melbourne is tracking toward the mid-20s today. A few clouds building through the afternoon, but no severe weather forecast and no active warnings from the Bureau. This is the start of the autumn transition for southern Australia. Temperatures easing, nights cooling, that long hot summer gradually releasing its grip. The Great Ocean Road is in fine shape for a drive today. Clear conditions, light southerly winds, temperatures around 22 degrees on the coast. Tasmania Hobart is forecast for around 20 degrees today, mostly clear with light winds, a pleasant early autumn day for the Apple Isle. The Bureau of Meteorology does have a marine wind warning and an ocean wind warning, Materia 10 in force for waters off Tasmania today. Check the BOM marine forecast before heading offshore. Now let us look at what is driving all of this activity across the country on this particular Wednesday. The dominant synoptic feature is a broad surface trough extending from the Kimberley through the Pilbara and into northwestern New South Wales. This is what is drawing tropical moisture south. That trough is the reason Sydney had its storm event overnight, the reason the upper western New South Wales is getting heavy rain today, and the reason central Queensland catchments continue to flood. In contrast, a broad high-pressure ridge sits across the south of the continent. That is the system keeping Victoria, South Australia and southern WA in settled, sunny conditions. As for Narelle's rapid intensification, the Bureau's tropical climate update from earlier this month noted that sea surface temperatures in the northern Coral Sea are exceptionally warm. Temperatures of 29 to 30 degrees Celsius provide the heat energy that powers tropical cyclone intensification. Narelle has had a near ideal intensification environment since it formed. Vertical wind shear, the difference in wind speed and direction at different heights in the atmosphere, is currently low across the Coral Sea, allowing the system to stay organised and deepen. The Bureau's tropical climate update, issued at the start of March, also noted the influence of an active Madden-Julian oscillation, a large-scale tropical weather pulse on the elevated activity this season. The Bureau's own climate monitoring noted that Luana, named in late January, was already the 8th tropical cyclone of the 2025-26 season at that point, an unusually active rate of development. Extended outlook for tomorrow and Friday here is what each region can expect as we move through the back half of this week. Western Australia settled in Perth and the south, showers and storms continuing in the north and Kimberley, ongoing monitoring of flood-impacted river systems in the Gascoyne and Pilbara. Darwin hot and humid with afternoon storms, flood recovery ongoing for Daly River area communities, road access remains limited on several routes. South Australia continued fine and settled, Adelaide easing toward the mid-20s as early autumn signals begin to build from the south. Queensland interior flooding in the Thomson, Barcoo and Cooper catchments will persist for many days, yet outback communities in these areas should plan for extended disruption. Far North Queensland, Narelle's tropical cyclone watch is expected to be upgraded to a warning, a BOM orange level alert, as early as today or tomorrow morning. From Thursday evening, destructive winds will begin affecting areas north of Cooktown. The main impact zone between Lockhart River and Lizard Island will be worst affected on Friday. New South Wales, Sydney and the coast will see continuing showers and storm risk on Thursday and Friday, with the ongoing inland trough maintaining the potential for further severe thunderstorm activity. People on the Pacific Motorway north of Newcastle through Thursday monitor BOM's New South Wales warnings page, as storm cells can develop and move quickly given the current setup. Victoria ACT and Tasmania quiet and settled continues. Southern Australia is in a benign weather pattern that looks stable through to the weekend. Now, the key safety messages before we close out, and please do pass these on because what is coming for Far North Queensland is serious. If you are in the tropical cyclone watch zone between Lockhart River and Port Douglas, or in the broader landfall zone up to Lizard Island, prepare today. The window is closing. For everyone near the Thomson River, Cooper Creek, the Barcoo, the Peru and the Upper Western District, do not drive on flooded roads under any circumstances. For Sydney drivers today, watch for road debris and standing water, particularly through the eastern suburbs and lower North Shore from last night's event. All warnings mentioned in this forecast come directly from the Bureau of Meteorology. The live warnings page is bom.gov.au. Bookmark it and check it regularly today. For Queensland cyclone preparedness, visit getready.qld.gov.au. For NT flood recovery, visit securant.nt.gov.au. For emergency flood and storm assistance anywhere in Australia, call the State Emergency Service on 132 500. That is 132 500. For any life-threatening emergency, call 000 000 immediately. Do not hesitate and do not wait. This is a fast-moving situation on multiple fronts. We will be back tomorrow with a dedicated Narelle update as the system approaches landfall. Please like this video, subscribe and turn notifications on. That way you will receive tomorrow's update the moment it is available. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves out there, and remember, if it's flooded, forget it. Stay safe everyone. We will see you tomorrow.